If you've ever found yourself full of hope or excitement for Mother's Day, only to end the day feeling hurt, invisible, or emotionally exhausted, I want you to know you are not alone and it's not your fault. Welcome back to Relationship Therapy. If you're new here, I'm Dr. K, a marriage and family therapist with over 25 years of experience in diagnosing behaviors, treating emotional patterns, and helping individuals and couples succeed both personally and professionally. Today, we're diving into a topic that might hit close to home for many of you: why narcissists ruin Mother's Day, and what you can do about it. Mother's Day is supposed to be about celebration, honoring mothers and mother figures, recognizing love, sacrifice, and care. But for those dealing with narcissistic partners, parents, or even adult children, it can feel more like an emotional minefield. So let's unpack why narcissists act out on days like this, how it manifests, and what steps you can take to reclaim your peace. Why narcissists struggle with Mother's Day. Let's start with the core issue. Narcissists need to be the center of attention. They live in a mental and emotional space where their ego needs constant validation. So when a day isn't about them, it becomes a problem. They may feel threatened, insecure, or even insulted, not because you did anything wrong, but because someone else is getting the spotlight. This is where it starts. The emotional sabotage begins, sometimes subtly, sometimes explosively. You might experience things like passive-aggressive comments, forgetting to celebrate the day, picking fights over trivial things, making everything about their own needs or discomfort, guilt-tripping, or using emotional blackmail. These tactics are part of a broader dynamic: control. Narcissists fear irrelevance more than anything. When attention shifts away from them, they often react with jealousy, disdain, or calculated sabotage. The emotional sabotage tactics. Let's break this down with a few examples. Say you're a mother hoping to have a peaceful brunch with your kids. Maybe you've mentioned it to your partner, a narcissist, in advance. But when the day comes, they forgot. Or they say you're being too demanding. Or worse, they plan something that centers around them and expects you to show gratitude. Or maybe you have a narcissistic mother yourself. You want to show appreciation, but she demands over-the-top praise, criticizes everything you do, and compares your efforts to what other people's kids do. You walk away drained, and once again, it becomes clear. The day was never truly about celebrating motherhood. It was about feeding her ego. These patterns are exhausting because they create a cycle of hope and hurt. You go into the day thinking maybe this year will be different, but by the end, you're nursing the same wounds. This cycle is often referred to in psychology as intermittent reinforcement, the idea that just maybe they'll be kind this time. But that rare kindness is actually what keeps you coming back, not realizing it's part of the manipulation. Holiday hijacking. Narcissists are also masters of what's called holiday hijacking. This means they take a day that's supposed to be about someone else and twist it until they are the focal point. They might fake illness, create chaos, remind you of all they've done for you, or just sulk until you give in and comfort them. You might hear lines like, "No one appreciates what I've done. It must be nice to get everything handed to you. I guess I just don't matter." These are hooks. Hooks for you to feel guilty, ashamed, or obligated. And when you respond, even with kindness, you're pulled into their narrative. What's really happening here is emotional control. Narcissists use days like Mother's Day to reassert power. If they can ruin your joy, they stay relevant. If they can make you feel guilty, they regain control. If they can make you feel small on a day meant to lift you up, they've won in their own mind. Recognizing the red flags. This behavior doesn't always show up dramatically. Sometimes it's more covert. Subtle digs, backhanded compliments, a sudden crisis that demands your attention. These moments can feel confusing, even insignificant on the surface. But when you add them up, they tell a story. Here are a few red flags to look for. You feel worse after seeing them, even if nothing bad happened. They never remember your wishes or plans. Your efforts are always minimized or dismissed. They claim you're overreacting when you set boundaries. The narcissist may never say outright, "You don't deserve to be celebrated," but their behavior will consistently reinforce that belief. Impact on mental health. Constant exposure to narcissistic behavior can erode your self-esteem. You begin to question your reality. You wonder if you are too sensitive, if you are selfish for wanting a peaceful day. This is called gaslighting, and it's a common tactic used by narcissists. Over time, these patterns can lead to anxiety, depression, hypervigilance, emotional burnout. The good news? Naming the behavior is the first step to breaking free. How to protect yourself. So let's talk about what you can do to break that cycle. 1. Recognize the pattern. Awareness is your biggest tool. Once you see the behavior for what it is, not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their dysfunction, you stop taking it personally. 2. Set boundaries. This could mean limiting time spent with them, planning your day your way, or choosing not to respond to guilt trips. Boundaries are not punishments. They are protections. 3. Manage expectations. If someone has shown you for years who they are, believe them. Hope is not a strategy. You can still be kind and respectful without expecting them to become someone different. 4. Create new traditions. Maybe Mother's Day isn't about your narcissistic mother anymore. Maybe it's about your kids, or your chosen family, or honoring the nurturing energy in your own life. You get to decide what this day means for you now. 5. Practice self-validation. Don't wait for others, especially narcissists, to recognize your worth. Speak kindly to yourself. Reflect on what you've overcome. Celebrate your growth. Because surviving and healing from narcissistic abuse is no small thing. Reclaiming Mother's Day can be what you make it. You don't have to follow anyone else's script, especially not one written in guilt, control, or manipulation. You can honor yourself. You can surround yourself with people who see you clearly. You can choose peace, even if it means celebrating alone or celebrating differently. This is especially true if you're someone who grew up with a narcissistic parent and are now navigating adult life with those scars. It can feel disorienting. You might still hear their voice in your head, questioning your worth, minimizing your achievements, or twisting your memories. But you are allowed to grow beyond that. You are allowed to rewrite your story. Final words. If no one said it to you yet today, thank you for your strength, your softness, your love, your survival. Whether you're a mother by birth, by role, by spirit, or simply someone healing from complex family dynamics, you deserve to be seen. This Mother's Day, take your power back. Love on yourself. Celebrate who you are, who you're becoming, and who you've left behind in the process of growing. Thank you for being here with me today. If this message resonated with you, feel free to share your story in the comments. Your words could be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And remember, setting boundaries, choosing peace, and honoring your own healing, that's powerful. That's worth celebrating. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.